Welcome to CFO Talk. I'm your host, Steve Roosevelt, Chief Learning Officer at CFO.University. Joining us from Wichita, Kansas today is Victor Ojeleye. How do you keep that up when you're having a bad day and keep them not from suffering from your bad day?
I'll say a couple things. One is, regardless of whether you realize it or not, that people are always watching you, right? They watch your emotions, they watch your body language. I'm checking my phone during a meeting, which I'm guilty of because I'm talking about it, right? There's that urge to keep things moving and stay connected. And so people are always watching your body language. And so that's one. Number two is I got some feedback from a close mentor maybe 10 years ago, and they said, you never allow people to see your really bad days. You can do that at home. Your family's there to comfort you. You have things that you're struggling with, tensions, turmoils internally, and you have a safe space for that. But you always have to present yourself as a strong leader. I would counter that with Brene Brown or others that say leaders also have to be vulnerable, right? So that's the second point. And I think one of the things that I found is somewhere in between, right? You have to continue to be able to be present in the moment. When we have 10 meetings in a day, breathe in, breathe out, focus on the next meeting. What's the topic we're focused on here? And when I am having a bad day, I might take a walk. I might find something that takes my mind off of it, or come back to it later and talk to the person I was working with and say, hey, how can we rethink this? I struggled with this topic and how we left it. Work directly. Or the other thing that I like to do is talk to family. I'm really close with my mom. She's been an advisor personally and with work. And usually I'll say, hey, here's something I've been wrestling with. This is how I want to solve it. Is that how you think I should solve it? And I do the same thing with other mentors too. So I think one of those things is in the moment between 6 and 5 o'clock or whatever time you're at work, you have to struggle and fight through it. And it's also okay to have a bad day. You can tell your team, hey, I'm wrestling with this issue. I will try my best not to let it impact what we're doing here, but we're all human, right? And I tend to go for the approach of maybe talking to the person that I was working with and maybe revisiting the issue and not really running away from it, getting advice, and then also just making it known that, hey, I need some time to think, I need time to process. And if it's something that it's a meeting getting to a point where I don't have a good answer, I might say, yeah, let's revisit this. And so there's those different styles of things that I'm, again, experimenting with to say, okay, how do I deal with it? But people are always watching you and you have to do your best to bring energy. And the other example I'll give is that energy for me is when I'm coaching, I realize when I'm active, when I'm talking, when I'm calling people by name, when you have that palpable culture in the environment you're in, people feed off of that, right? It's draining, right? But you got to find ways to fill your cup, right? So the weekend, when family's here, whatever your hobbies are, that's the burden that comes with that leadership opportunity. And we all have to continue to find ways to drive forward and bring that energy.
3 things came out of that for me. One is your focus continues to be on people and how you interact with people and giving them energy and giving them part of your energy. Another thing is your willingness to take feedback. I don't know how many times you've said feedback already in our conversations, but you're willing to learn and you're looking at mentors. And your mentors cover a whole slew of things from the Leadership Center in Kansas State to your mom. But I think that being able to accept that advice and be willing to go to other people and ask them about, I don't know this answer, is such a great leadership tool. So the balancing act, how far do we go on both sides? Do we share everything? How much do we share? And that's important. And then the whole feedback and mentoring, I just think that's a wonderful way to approach it. That wraps up today's CFO Talk. CFO.University is a community of member scholars, companies, and trusted advisors committed to the professional development of chief financial officers. Learn more about us at www.cfo.university. Until next time, enjoy, learn, engage.